here. Aha! We're here. We're live. Hello. So,
Hello.
welcome to anyone watching this stream, and welcome to my my players for today. Yes.
We're in danger.
You think? No, of course. Would you be? Would I put you in danger, my beloved? No, not prey. What was the word I was saying? Oh yes, players. I knew it started with a
I
P.
don't doubt you.
Alrighty, so we are playing in our lovely gothic horror world of Barovia, and we're playing as huh?
I heard a creeper hiss, and I have stream muted.
I have
I don't know how
not
that
seen it
happened.
come through either chat or the overlay.
Yeah, I don't see it in stream.
I don't see it in chat either.
Yeah.
I just hear a lot of echoing.
I definitely heard a creeper hiss, though.
I thought I heard a creeper hiss, but I don't see an announcement for it. Okay, that's too loud. How do I turn that down? Where's the... Okay, we're playing with... Okay, that's a creeper hiss.
Enigma. I saw that.
Oh.
Oh, he's playing it in... Aha! Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's still pretty bad. So yes, I have pesky players as well as pesky viewers. This is wonderful. All my peeps!
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Wow.
No one introduced that one to Scott.
That's what I was just thinking. It's a feature.
That was a sound alert.
So as everyone can tell, we're using Discord as our voice chat of choice tonight, and Roll20 as our virtual tabletop. And speaking of which, I've lost Roll20. So we have our players here. We have Enigma from the Lifecraft community. We have Amy from well, you're all around. You're active in, and you're active on the is it the Tuesday night game? I don't remember which game you're active in.
Well, it was with 3020. It was a Friday night stealing stories, but
Right.
our last game that was supposed to be this week, and Kevin was moving.
Right. Oh,
So
I actually have...
that is over.
Aha! I have a command for Enigma, and I think I have a command for Amradorn too. So Amy is active in the Dirty 20 gaming community and is active in Zack the Dragon's viewer community and Minecraft server. Do I have an Amradorn command too?
And I stream myself. Oh, right. I forgot about the Streamlab spot.
No, I don't have an Amradorn. I don't know what I did with Amradorn's command. I don't even know my own commands. Yeah, this is good. Amradorn is also a Minecraft streamer and streams on YouTube. Okay, how do I change this? I gotta change this. How do I allow...
Hard to self-promote.
How do I allow... All right. How do I allow posting of links? You know what, guys? My assignment for this next week is going to be to make commands for all of you guys with all your links. Get me your links, and I will have commands for you all. Okay, we
all of my links.
Well, we could do at least a link. Let's see, in the Discord. I think Discord even has Dirty 20 Gaming. No, that's my Discord. D20G. Okay. Note to self: learn my own commands. My command on Dirty 20 Gaming has everything. I'll go copy it.
And I linked in. We linked our stuff in Roll20. You could relink in Twitch chat, but.
Yeah. I'll get it set up. Because yeah, Amy's streaming, Enigma's streaming, Amradorn is streaming, Amradorn's streaming Lifecraft, and we have Deku Lily, who is the one person who actually puts comments on our videos on YouTube. Bless you. And is active in the Dirty 20 Gaming. Let me get the Dirty 20 Gaming link.
Until Sherwood starts back up, I'm not really. I'm just another observer. I'm back to being an observer again.
Yep. But you are active in the
Discord.
in Discord. You're active in Discord. Let's see. Send a server invite link. There we go. That's the Dirty 20 Gaming one. And Tom. Tom is also active in the Dirty 20 Gaming community and Discord. And is our other newbie here that we are teaching Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. So let's see. When we last left off, we're lost in the mists and in a forested area, and we had, and I'm getting an echo from somebody. Who am I getting an echo from?
Amy.
Amy.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, and we were lost in the mists, and we came out. No, am I getting it from me? I guess I am getting the echo from Amy. Amy, we're getting an echo through your channel.
It's been that way for weeks.
Has it?
Yeah.
How did I not notice this?
Mm.
I don't know. So anyway, let's see. We came into a village in the woods, and we learned that the village was in dire straits with winter moving in strongly and early, and the local economy was dependent on the furs brought in by some hunters who were overdue from their last trip. And there was great concern about it. And the local outfitter was especially concerned about it. And our party said, "Hey, we'll go look for them for you." And they said, "Oh, really? Yay!" And we will. Yeah, let me get some of these links. Yeah, how can I copy that? There we go. Here's Amy's link. Here's Amadorn's link. Amadorn's link.
Yeah, I tweaked my voice sensitivity.
Thank you. Okay, so we decided we would go off after them and see if we could find out what happened to them, rescue them, whatever. We knew that it was a husband and wife team and that the wife was heavily pregnant, so additional concerns for her. And we went out into the woods and we met up with, well, some bandits that were pretending to be have a stranded wagon. Yes, they were pretending to have a stranded wagon, but were really just trying to entice well-meaning people into coming and rescuing them so that they could then beat them up and steal their things. Yes, thank you, Emradord. So we've also got so out past there, we managed to find our way to the hunter's camp. And oh, this was a terrible scene. We found a dead corpse who looks like the husband of the husband and wife team. We saw some tracks there that started out human and then turned into wolf paw prints just a few steps away. So we have bloody paw prints that we are following. We and trying to get enough information there, we came across some elves, one of whom we knew back from the village before, but even though that had been just yesterday for the for the party, it had been months for her, and she looked absolutely dreadful and scrawny, and we sent them back to the village with the furs.
What we were told is they wanted to hang out by the campfire a little longer.
Yes, they were.
And we were standing around trying to make a decision on whether to go with them or to continue our search.
Yes.
And also, we didn't see human footprints turning into canine footprints. All we managed to find was canine footprints of unusual size, and a blood trail leading east away from the camp.
Yes.
Any more than that, the campsite was too disturbed. Although we did find more than one person's worth of blood around.
Yes, And you found a silvered dagger.
Yeah, in the ashes of the campfire.
So
I really wish
Tom,
I had Deku in school as a classmate to tell me
uh-huh.
because I'm not good at taking notes like this.
Oh, and I was
Mhm.
about to say, Tom, note. So when you are as an aspiring dungeon master, always invite someone who takes really good notes to play at your table.
I will
Or
keep that in mind.
or invite a VOD watcher because that's the only reason all this stuff is fresh in my mind.
That is also a good backup.
That
To
is
keep it
also
Yeah, but it
fresh.
requires streaming, so which not all the groups do.
alrighty. So with that, we come back in. We are about, and I've lost roll 20 again. I have too many windows open. Use Obsidian notes to keep all my notes. Oh, cool. I will have to check that out. Let's see, Obsidian notes.
Nice Sparks notes, Misty Fortunes. Is that on Sparks notes? Just get a recap of the entire story.
No, although you can get recaps at DM's Guild for the Adventurers League DDAL04 season, which is Misty Fortunes and Absent Hearts, which is the source material we're using.
Wow.
Alrighty. With some liberties taken, because we're not playing Adventurers League, so I don't have to follow the Adventurers League rules. Okay, so... Alright, we are here. We have just about... you're just about to leave the campfire. What would you guys like to do?
I guess first off, determine what time of day it is because if the storm is going to roll in around nighttime, we need to determine how long that is away from us. So we started in the morning, but like how early in the morning?
It's a little hard to tell with the heavy cloud cover. Um,
Was that
base,
Wolf Cannon or was that just the ambience?
well, ambience. Definitely ambience. Don't worry about it.
Both and neither.
Both and
Uh-huh.
neither, yes. So it is basically mid-afternoon, I would think, and you still probably have a ways to go.
Yeah, because it took us 45 hours to get here, plus we got distracted by the bandits, which probably added about an hour, 2 hour travel time.
Mm-hmm.
And if we choose to continue forward, that's going to add that much more travel time to getting back to town.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do we think a temporary camp, would hold up against the winds of the storm?
Probably not. None of us is used to this kind of weather, this kind of cold. And right now, Sigel's interested in a nice fireplace and stout walls around her.
Yeah, it might be too cold for a temporary hold up.
especially outfitted as we are, half of us are in makeshift gear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of us is trained to make a shelter for a blizzard.
Hold on, am I training survival? I am not. Yeah, as much as Nolan doesn't like it, it's looking like the smart thing to do would be to go back to town with the
Tactically
elves.
retreat.
Yeah, and plus make sure the elves get back safely.
Yeah, get that card in with the even more first than what Grigori was expecting.
Yeah, it's
But
like we found the guy. The lady's either a werewolf or
or she got carried away by a werewolf. We
yeah,
can't
or
rule that out.
they just there's very low chance that alive.
Yeah,
That's good enough for Sigil.
Merlin does have a way of looking for the Raven pendant that she has, but it's not. He doesn't have that spell prepared, and it's not going to do us any good in a goddamn blizzard if we all freeze to death.
Yeah, so let's head back to town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Along the way, we still have those purple wood pendants from the elves in the Quivering Wood, right?
Mhm.
So along the way back, Merlin would like to bring one of those out and ask one of the two elves with Aya about it. Like, what is its significance to the elves of the Quivering Wood? I,
So,
Adric, I don't think we can do anything. We don't have the time to bury it.
and the ground is frozen hard. So, you asked, are asking about bring out a pendant to ask one of the elves about it. And he looks a little disturbed. How did you get one of those? Those are usually only worn by our clan.
We were following a suspected thief into the Quivering Wood. We had hoped to cooperate with the elves to remove the intruder, but they were unusually aggressive.
And usually aggressive how?
Kind of like
The
rabid
stabby kind.
beast. They attacked us like rabid beasts, I think.
Their dogs were more well behaved than they were.
The mist were
The
seeping
mist had
into them.
permeated them to their cores. They act as though they were possessed.
Yes, there were some of our scouts as they'd been out that did go mad with the mists. It must have been some of those poor souls. Um,
Do you know how the mist affects people?
well, it seems to drive people mad. Like I don't know if it's an illness or an infection or, I mean, it didn't drive us mad, but it's made us lost. I don't know. And one of the other ones piped up. It's like, I, I encountered one who'd come back absolute ravening like a rabid beast. So yeah, I and kind of looks at the companions. I locked them up to see if they could be cured. They had not yet been cured by the time I was lost. The
I
wood,
guess
yeah, the wood you asked about is it's called Morkant Burrow. It's a purple hardwood that grows within the quivering forest, and it's something of a companion of ours. We don't usually allow it to go out, but of the forest, but yeah.
Merlin would be willing to give the pendants to the elves.
Yeah.
Did
say
we
we give him.
distribute those, or
Huh?
did we distribute those originally, or was one person carrying all of them?
I imagine only one person was carrying them because there was no obvious monetary value.
And you weren't sure though if it would have a symbolic or protective meaning.
Yeah.
Or any magic use?
I would also say we give him back as a show of good faith.
Yeah.
And Aya speaks up. I think you have shown yourselves to be friends of the Quivering Forest. I feel free to keep them. Feel free to keep them, and if we ever find our way out of here and back, then we could. Then it would buy you some goodwill if you were ever in the forest. It might even buy you some goodwill from Jenny. I don't know that anything would buy goodwill from Jenny, but it might have a chance that at least you wouldn't instantly be accused of breaking the pact between the forest and Flan.
If she's sure, then very well.
And the other two elves are kind of, I mean, look at what you're doing for us here, helping us get back.
Who gets the other two pendants? Adric says he has one.
I never added one to my sheet, but I tend to be bad about that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I also don't remember obtaining one.
Siegel would take one if there's one up for grabs, but what are we calling them?
Well, I put the I put the name of the wood in Roll20 chat, Morcant Burrow. You can call them Greenhall Elves pendant. Yeah.
But I would also guess that if one member of the group were to show off the pendant, that maybe it would buy the goodwill for the group as a whole.
As a city guard, it might be best for Siegel to have one, so...
Yes, as a city guard, you would definitely be. Well, although you were, and you met with Jenny. As you're traveling along, Adric, you find yourself suddenly thinking, I mean, your memory and your imagination is consumed by heart-wrenching thoughts of abandoned children and with hungry hands outstretched, begging for food, safety, and approval. And you're just overwhelmed by grief momentarily.
Is it just a feeling, or do I actually see visions or anything?
It's hard to tell. It feels like imagination. It feels like a memory, but you don't actually remember having ever seen such a thing.
Okay.
So are you guys traveling about the same as you were on the way out? Are you trying to keep a little bit of haste as you head out? You know the path back.
I mean, we need to pick up that cart, so I imagine we're taking the same way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say there's a certain pep in our step, considering the looming storm.
Definitely want to recover the cart. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So you have the cart and you're traveling down.
On my road back to town. Trying to stay on the road at least.
Are you doing much looking around at things off the road, or are you just trying to ignore everything off the road and stay focused on the ground?
Considering my abysmal perception checks, no.
Merlin is paying attention to his surroundings, although sometimes he is looking back where they came. Part of him regrets having to leave, but he knows this is the smart thing to do.
The Siegel is busy checking out that witch he picked up. Which this probably isn't a short rest. Kind of.
An Enigma, you feel a sharp stabbing pain across your abdomen, and then your whole torso kind of goes numb. And then a mere heartbeat later, the sensation fades away.
I think I'd be trying to figure out why I had that. Looking around to see if somebody caused it.
But the rest of you see Enigma suddenly kind of looking around.
Concerned that one of them stabbed him in the gut.
Did he let out any kind of sound or grunt?
Probably be a little bit of a grunt, but
Enigma?
You do not. You don't see any of the people around you that you're traveling with around in the cart. Are most of you actually riding in the cart, or are you walking alongside of it?
Merlin will be walking alongside.
I'd probably be
Is
doing
there
the
a
same.
room with the elves?
Okay. So Enigma, particularly as you're walking alongside, nobody seems close enough to have stabbed you. You look down at your abdomen and you don't see any injury. And now that the sensation's gone, you feel perfectly normal. Although as you're looking around, you do sort of see a couple of small bundles of sticks, about, it looks like about a handful that would be used for kindling perhaps, except tied together.
I knew it. The stick stabbed him.
I'd probably be curious about them because if they're sitting like that with nobody around, probably go over and look at them.
Okay.
With my passive perception of 15, would I notice this and notice the stick?
You would certainly notice Enigma heading over to take a look at the sticks, yes.
Enigma, what are you doing?
There seems to be some sticks just bundled up over here. But if nobody's around, why are they here?
And as you come up and look, you actually see there is a slight trail that heads off into the woods.
This is a little peculiar.
Probably some hunter's trail. We don't really have time to investigate it before the storm catches us.
And as you look at the trail, you see another bundle of sticks, but this one is hanging down from the branch of a tree. A little further out on the trail.
Follow the
Along
light.
our trail or the trail leading off the main path?
The trail leading off of the main path.
Okay.
That's even stranger.
This feels bad.
Yes, I agree.
I feel like we should leave it and not get caught by the blizzard.
Agreed. Although, let us make a mental note of this.
No
Did
party
it-
about it.
Did anybody see these on our way up the first time?
No, I don't think so.
You
Can
didn't
Somebody
notice them,
noticed
but you
these.
might not have. They would be easy to overlook because you were looking for other things. Go ahead, please, Tom.
can Myrick play the being a general nuisance card and kind of sneak, because I'm thinking that Myrick is still laying on the cart because a couple battles ago he got injured, so he's still playing that I don't feel so great card, even though I'm up in atoms and I'm all good.
Absolutely.
So could I sneak off the cart and just slowly walk down the trail, even though they don't follow me?
Give me a stealth check.
Yes.
So a 10 is absolutely average stealth, which, considering you're in a small space with other people, they do probably notice you.
Yeah, passive perception is baseline 10, so
Merlin's is 15, so he would definitely call you back.
And Merrick, as you kind of you're sort of sneaking in as you look towards the to take a step down the path that leads off, it seems like the trees sort of warp and they turn to face you, menacingly over you as if they're trying to block out the sun from you. And as you move away from them just a little bit, it looks like they're continuing to sort of follow you.
Okay, so Mirik kind of acting a little stoically as if he wasn't noticed. He's like, guys, I think we should look at this.
Let's go
Yeah.
over, check it out.
Totally delusional to his own failure at stealthing.
Mm-hmm. And what do you point them towards?
The not to make an oxymoron, but the living trees.
Okay. So the rest of you just see the normal trees that are there and you aren't sure what it is gesturing to, but then you realize he's gesturing to another one of those bundles hanging down from the tree.
So I'm just waving crazily at a wooden pile, and you're all just looking at me like, guys, look, guys.
It's a bundle of sticks.
If you want them bad enough, I'll cut it down for you. But
Are we just ignoring this shady tree? Shady in two ways.
It's a bundle of sticks.
You know,
I-
to make
I
Merrick
must
feel
be
better,
going crazy right now.
Yes.
to make Merrick feel better, I could detect magic to see if anything's around.
You do not sense any specific magic. I mean, you're picking up sort of the low grade necrotic of the mists, but you're not seeing any real sense of anything specifically magic. No.
Can I? How far above me is this tree that I'm maybe imagining?
Well, it's all the trees around you actually are sort of, they're linking their branches over you in sort of a menacing way. But now that you really look at you've turned to look at them because you've been trying to convince them, and you look back, and you're just seeing trees.
I'm gonna go to the nearest tree and start jabbing it with my quarterstaff, trying to poke the proverbial bear.
Okay. Give me an attack roll with your quarterstaff.
The proverbial bear.
Whoa! You whack the heck out of that tree. So you give it a thunk, and bark kind of goes flying, and it doesn't seem to do anything more than just sort of shudder a little bit because it's about the trunk's got about a foot diameter. It's a fairly small young tree, but yeah, you just whack the heck out of it.
Take that, tree! Trying to mess with my head.
And Adric.
Let us move on.
At this point, I'm just imagining myself like spinning in a circle, talking to myself, looking insane.
Okay, so as you continue on, how come that has stopped?
Yeah, so I'm by the. I'm imagining a couple yards within the side path. I'm probably a little not scared because Merrick is not scared.
Oh, of course
Very
not.
stoic. Very stoic. He would never get scared.
Oh, of course not. Obviously.
So he's probably a little cautious, which is a rare sight for him. Trying to jab each tree just every once in a while. Yeah, walking slowly.
Wait, is Merrick going down the side path or coming with us back to town?
Currently, I'm walking down the side path. I'm thinking you guys kind of stop to look at me complaining about the wooden pile.
Siegel's gonna call back. If you fall behind, we're not coming back for you.
There's no cookies down there, Merrick.
Shit. Running back to the cart.
I wonder which sentence is more motivating.
I think he wanted the cookies.
No
boy.
preservation of his own life. Does any of the bundles or illusions break me up on the turn back to the cart?
No,
Just normal bundles.
normal bundles.
I choose then to just before heading back to the cart, take in the nearest wooden pile.
Mm-hmm.
Just yeah, for research purposes.
Okay. All right. So at this point, as you continue on your way down, you're getting down. You're maybe an hour out from Erasnu, the village. And as you look up, the trees have opened up a little bit, and you can see the clouds. You can see the sky coming in, and you can see the snow. The ones that are just off from you, up ahead to the right, you can see that's a lot of snow coming through. Yep. So the storm is moving in, and the winds are starting to come at you and really blow, and your way is going to be quite treacherous.
Yeah, Mary jumped up in the cart again, really complaining about this non-existing pain, uh, saying like, "Guys, I think you guys should hurry up. I mean, it's getting kind of chilly, and this cart isn't that comfortable."
And your horse is kind
Well,
of
if you just
drooping
wander off.
it's kind of drooping his head down and starting to look kind of miserable. The horse is not looking very happy. Go ahead, please, Amy.
And if you didn't wander off like that, we'd be making better time.
But did you see this pile of sticks I got? Holds up a very generic pile of sticks.
Yeah, it's very hard not to say what Sigil might say in this situation. Just every time someone mentions a bundle of sticks.
I just clutched the pile of sticks as if it was a teddy bear.
I think he might have taken too many whacks to the head.
A couple.
Yeah. Where did we find this guy again?
Why did you what?
Where did we find this guy again?
Right outside
I mean,
of the Laughing
I was
Goblin
a-
and Fun?
I was a homeless person with a stick. That's
He vol-
kind of
And now you're a homeless person
everything.
with a lot of sticks.
He volunteered to help us out.
It is kind of an upgrade when you think about it.
Yeah, I understand the fascination with sticks. Well,
Of course, we may have been more of a bribe with cookies, but
yeah, Sigel's just gonna ignore him and continue moving towards.
And Sigil, this talk of cookies. I mean, maybe not
Oh.
cookies so much, but you find yourself thinking of a warm fire and a cup of mulled ale and just bundled up in furs, and you just have such an overpowering longing for this.
Yeah, that's just gonna motivate her more to keep going down the trail or the path back to town.
Okay.
Need to get back. Really want to get that fire.
So you pick up the pace and try and your horse. If one of you is up, work with the horse, trying to encourage the horse along. The horse wants to get back too. It doesn't like being out here. This is kind of miserable.
Can Merlin roll an insight on everybody?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
he hasn't known these people well, or have has not known them long, but this does seem a little off.
And with a 14 insight, what you see is that people are looking unsettled, unnerved. Um, like the atmosphere of the place is kind of getting to them. People are a little bit jumpy. They don't seem possessed. They don't seem, but it really feels like the mists and the storm and the darkness and the plants around here, the color of them is almost a dead kind of look. It does seem like it's getting to people.
And the occasional wolf doesn't help either.
And the
We need to
occasional wolf doesn't help either. Exactly.
I guess since Merlin was the one with the successful animal handling before, he would be the one leading the horse. So he would just move it, book it, go, go, go.
All right. And you make your way back into the town of Erasnu.
Oh, thank hell.
Where do you go from here?
I guess our first stop should be the Hare and Hare to take Laszlo and Alina's furs to them, to Grigori,
Yep.
and also drop off all these furs in the cart.
Okay. And just before you get there, the storm slams in hard, and all of a sudden it's a whiteout. You can hardly see your way through it. And you make your way going. Tell me how are you going to get there? Are you going to do anything particular?
Sigil could maybe lead the way with her 10-foot blind sight.
Very good. Yeah, that would work.
She's
All
getting
right.
really sick of all this whiteout, losing the ability to see where she's going bullshit. It was mist yesterday, snow today.
Would
So
it be a survival check to or an intelligence check to remember the pathway through town that we took? Because
history.
history.
History is a general is frequently used as a general memory.
Damn it.
Well, and
I guess
it hit right before you got there, so you aren't very far. You aren't very far. So it's very difficult, and you think that you lose your way for a minute, but then you bump into the side of a building, and feeling your way up, the poor horse is just in really bad. It's huddled down, and yeah, it's not looking at all happy. And you come up and you do find sort of the front entryway to Grigori's shop.
I guess
Is the door
get
open?
the equipment held in first.
The door is unlocked. You're able to get in, yes.
Yeah. When we get in, Sigil will tell Gregory that we got some meat for tonight's stew.
You?
The horse.
Yeah. Dying horse.
I'm pretty sure somebody would rather buy it as a farm horse alive.
I mean,
It's not.
Chances
it
it will
requires the
survive
horse
the
to
night.
survive the storm.
It's not dead yet.
You underestimate my power.
But
Oh, you're
I listen to too much.
Gregory comes
Song.
out. You're here. Oh, Mike, come in. Get out of the snow. Get out of the snow. Oh my goodness. It's I didn't think to see you back tonight. Oh, so there's more of you. Okay. Well, come and get
We're
out
gonna-
there. Let's get something hot here. what?
She has some place that we can put the horse in.
Well, not exactly, but maybe next door the Seven Tables has a stable. You might be able to get there, but can you? And he sort of pokes his head out. Can you even see enough to get there? But I don't have. I really don't. You can't bring it in here.
When
We can't leave it outside. Let's. I'll head out and see if I can't take the horse over to the seven tables.
Okay.
When
It's right here. It's right here. He kind of points. It's just next door here.
I'll feel my way around.
I'll
ahead,
go
Tom.
with Hendrik.
when Adric and the shopkeep poke their head outside, I, drenched in snow, just walk towards them because I fell asleep in the cart and no one bothered to wake me up.
Mhm.
So I just
You didn't
come in
notice when 5
drenched.
people got out of the cart? The 3
No,
elves?
because
Okay.
I am a heavy sleeper.
I believe that about Mary.
And
Yes.
Eagle's not the type to rouse you unless it's with a bucket of water.
In the freezing cold. Thank you.
Yes.
Good.
Yes, that would
Or
definitely.
maybe to haul you off to.
Merlin would do a head count and wait, where's Mirek?
I
And
don't
I
know.
just walk in shivering.
Okay, so we have Adric and Enigma are heading over. Are going to try and take the horse over. Grigori says, "Here, let me give you this. Let's use this rope here. We can tie it to the poster. At least it'll help you get back." The even stable, the 7
Sounds good.
tables.
Thank you.
Ah. Okay, give me. You can either both roll survival, or one of you can roll survival at advantage with the other one helping.
I have a -1.
I have a
Sounds like
0.
helping.
I have a 0, so
I'll help you.
okay.
Do you have proficiency in survival?
No.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
does
with-
does Adric have proficiency in survival?
Nope.
Okay, I shall
do.
take that into account when figuring the difficulty rating. Okay, go ahead and roll at advantage, Enigma.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay,
Nice.
I'll go with that.
so you're holding on to the bridle of this horse, and Adric is over on the other side of the horse, and you're sort of have your heads down as you're plowing your way through this sudden blizzard, heading over, and you feel secure with this rope tied around your waist and all that's gonna get you back to the Hare and Hare, and so you make your way over, and you kind of bump your head into another building. It's like, okay, this is probably the right building. And you kind of feel your way around the side of the building to the front of it. And you manage to find the front, and you realize, okay, my rope is basically done. I can't I'm gonna have to let go of it here. And so you tell Adric, here, Adric, hold this right here, keep it right here, because I can feel the building. And you make your way around the building, and you find some of the snow's been a little bit. There's a slight clear spot, kind of in the courtyard, and you do see a stable there. You don't see anyone at the stable, but there is shelter there.
Okay. I'll take the horse over there.
And do you know anything about horses? It's
Like
entirely
IRL
up to
or-
you whether you do it, whether Enigma Blaze has had horses in his background or not.
Well, given elves never generally ride on horses, that would maybe.
You do see another animal in one of the stalls. I mean, you see kind of stalls that are places. You might not know what to do with the horse, but you can figure that okay, well, at least it's sheltered here and it has a chance.
Yeah. We'll put him in here.
and then you feel your way back around the building until you run into Adric, and the two of you are able to grab to follow the rope back into Grigori's.
See, that wasn't too bad.
Okay. So
Merrick looks at him with a certain amount of resentment.
So you knock the snow off of yourselves and come in as you come into the warmth area. Grigori has sort of built up the fire in the little sitting area and has brought out some hot coffee. How are you? How are you doing? And he looks at the elves. Okay. Welcome. I'm Grigori. You weren't here before. You're not the hunters we were looking for. And he looks kind of questioningly at the lot of you.
We ran into them during our investigation of the hunters' camp. I regret to report that Laszlo is no longer among the living. That wasn't him, right?
I believe so.
Yes, his name was Laszlo.
Siegel will pull out the whip and show it to Gregory. Found this on his body.
Oh. Yes.
And
that's
silver.
him.
There was a silver dagger on fire.
Oh. Body, you said. What about Alino? What about his wife?
We saw no sign of her at the campsite. Whether she managed to get away or something else was unclear.
There was a blood trail, wasn't there?
Huh?
Wasn't there a blood trail?
Yes.
Yes, but I believe the tracks with the blood trail were a large canine. So there was no telling where she went.
Yeah.
It's a big assumption that she turned into a werewolf. We don't know that for sure.
So, whatever killed him, I have my doubts that a very pregnant woman would be able to escape.
And Grigori
I don't think
sits
you know the
down hard.
tenacity of pregnant women. A very tenacious pregnant woman.
Is the Dragon Lord? Probably not.
Grigori sits down kind of hard. Well, this is hard news. Very hard news. And with winter coming in early, I don't know how we're going. Oh gosh, this is not well, but it's not your problem. At least rest here. I don't have a lot of food for a full meal. I had been planning to go to the 7 tables for my own supper, but we can manage to make do with something as we sort of try and wait out the storm.
I have a spell that allows me to locate object. You mentioned that Alina possessed a pendant with a raven motif upon it.
Yes.
If I am allowed time to prepare it, the next time we go searching, I can look for that pendant, assuming it has not parted from her. At the very
Would
least,
be something, yes. At least we could find out if she's in trouble, if she's taken shelter, or at least find out her fate.
yes. However, that spell will do us no good in this blizzard.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be too difficult to get there. Well, let's at least shelter for the night here. At least shelter for the night here. Get some rest, and we'll see what morning brings. I think. Oh. I don't suppose you found any of their furs or anything. I mean, I hate to sound mercenary, but it would be nice if we got something out of it.
We did, as a matter of fact, and he points towards the elf who gave the pack to.
Maybe not their first, but there were some bandits on the road posing as travelers or merchants with a cart full of leathers with a broken wheel, but they were only bandits posing with a perfectly fine wheel hidden among the leathers. They have been dispatched.
They weren't long for the world.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sounds very good.
And it's more leathers than we were expecting. So, or
well, that's
sides, whatever.
That's wonderful.
Amy, is Sigil trying to conceal the pack that we found with Laszlo's corpse? Because it did have furs in it. We gave those to the...
That's players' memory problems.
Yeah, we gave them to the elves in the hopes that it would help them like earn a little income to live here.
No, that's entirely I forgot. So
it was your idea too.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
It has been. So where are these? Where you said you have them, and he's kind of looking around.
Well, I was carrying some of the furs.
They were in the cart, so wherever the cart is.
The cart is just outside.
Was trying to pull it.
I remember that at the start of the last session, I was carrying some of the furs for additional heat,
yes.
because I didn't have any clothes as such.
Do you offer one of those to Grigori to show him?
Well, I do if it's comfortably warm inside.
It is nice and warm inside. Yes, you are definitely.
Yeah, then I do hand over whatever furs I have remaining.
Oh, this is lovely work. Yes. How many furs were you able to bring?
If I remember correct, I had 3, but I did hand 2 off to the elves.
And the elves, now that they're warming up, they hand the furs. Oh, very, very nice. Yes. Oh, if we have some more of these, we might be able to make it through. Although with this storm, I don't know that the Vistani will come for trading. We shall have to see about that, but yes. Well, so it's not a complete loss for this year, but I fear that next year is not. We're going to have to find a way to replace that in our economy. I don't suppose you'd like to settle down and become hunters? Do you have skills at hunting and skinning and...
If you need a tree punched, I'm your man.
He blinks a couple of times. A tree punched?
I rest my
you
case.
hit it with a quarter staff.
Ah, okay. Okay. And Adric, he does hear you speak up about having the extra rope and could tie the rope to make a line between the trading post and the 7 tables. That sounds like an excellent idea. If it's still storming in the morning, well, and it's certainly the way it's dumping snow out there, we'll have to dig our way over if we're going to head over. That would definitely be a thing to do. Is there anything else folks would like to do or say or discuss before nighttime?
other than investigating the whip a bit more, but that's short or long rest sort of thing. So
You can attune
Uh,
to it. That one I think took attunement. You can,
yeah.
and you
Well, and she
can.
doesn't know that it's magic yet entirely, so you just mentioned
Yeah,
it out of character
yeah.
last time.
It's a very unusual one. I mean, a length of rotting covered vine. Although the handle is purple wood.
All the
And
more
it
reason
is.
for Sigil to keep it. It is in her color.
It is in her color. It is definitely in her color. All right, so go ahead and click on the long rest button. Yes, go ahead, please.
Merlin would like to ask Dory about that wolf pup tied to a fence that he mentioned earlier.
Yes, the one that I brought it home because it had been tied to Glovia's house, but she isn't there at the moment, or hasn't been there. Although I went out to feed it this afternoon, and it seems to have disappeared, run away, run off, I think. So, I mean, it is a wolf. Hopefully, it's a very young one though, so I don't know if it'll survive. But
How young would you say it is?
well, I mean, it still looked the real, the real fluffy of a very young pup before they get their second layer fur in. So couldn't be more than a week or two at most.
Wouldn't it still be blind and deaf by then? Still relying on its mother's milk?
Okay, a month or two at most.
Okay, so it's more than 5 days old at least.
Probably I don't actually know anything about the ages of wolves. It had its eyes open. It was able to chew through the rope I had for it, and it ran off. I mean, so it was very young and very fluffy, but it was on its own feet.
I mean, running off sounds preferable to, well, turning into an icicle tied to a post.
Well, I was taking food out to it, although it wouldn't have had any way of knowing that. But yeah,
But the storm moving in, I mean,
the storm moving in.
it
You
probably
know,
used to burrow or.
you do what you can for wild animals, and then beyond that.
Mary just wants a puppy.
You can go looking for it when the storm is done.
I'm sure he has all intent to.
Just out of curiosity, when was the last full moon?
The last full moon? I couldn't tell you. The skies have been rather overcast. I haven't taken note of the moon.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Rollbach, for everything.
Anything else tonight?
Well, I think right before bed, Merlin would want to swap his spells a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see, I think it's like a minute per spell level. So he's going to spend a couple minutes praying and then go to bed.
Okay. And Enigma, if you wish to alter which of your spells you have prepared, so you've got the spells in your spell book are the ones that you know, and you can choose the ones that you have prepared for the day. Over the course of a long rest, you can change which spells you have prepared if you wish.
Okay.
And the number of spells that you would have prepared is based on the rules for a wizard, and I don't remember the rules at the moment. Take a quick look at the wizard. Very long time since I've played a wizard. preparing spells. Choose a number of wizard spells from your spellbook equal to your intelligence modifier plus your wizard level. So your intelligence modifier is
3.
3, and your current level is 3. So you can prepare 6 spells.
Okay.
And those are the ones that you'll be able to use tomorrow. Basically, as you're doing your long rest, one of your routines is to sort of peruse your spell book and get freshen in your mind some of the spells in your spell book.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So the next morning, as you wake up, everything is very quiet. You can hear the sounds within the building. You can hear Grigori moving around and doing something in his common area. You don't hear anything at all from outside.
I guess get dressed and take a peek outside.
Merrick forgot about the getting dressed part.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about in that order.
Yeah.
So if you are you taking a peek out a window? Or are you opening a door? Where are you looking out?
I guess a window first.
Okay. And all you see is white.
As though we've been buried in here?
Possibly. Go to the front door and open it. Adric opens the front door and sees a bunch of stones. You open the door, a little bit of snow kind of comes, fluffs down onto the floor, but you've got what looks like a nice wall of snow.
Anyone got a shovel?
Have we had breakfast already?
You have not. Well, you could have you can eat breakfast now, or why? Yeah, I am an outfitter. You know, I certainly have I see the problem. Yes, I shall go get a couple of shovels. And Grigori goes and grabs a couple of shovels and hands one to you and starts attacking the wall himself is next to you.
I mean, if anybody wants to go to the outhouse, we're gonna have to
Merrick,
dig our way out.
Merrick woke up a while ago and started haggling Grigori for any beer or meat or anything of the sorts for breakfast, of course. So that he is having breakfast currently.
Okay, and you did bring a couple of furs. Okay, Adric, give me a survival check. This is largely going to determine how easily you manage to dig through the snow without it just sort of falling and getting yourself buried in it.
Oh.
Ooh, you're doing very well. Adric is working on digging out a tunnel. As you dig out, you find yourself sort of breaking out. It looks like it's buried deeper right around the house than it is a little further out. But you don't see any buildings around the village. All you see are a bunch of mounds of snow.
We're gonna dig out the 7 tables, aren't we?
It would appear so.
You do pretty easily find the cart, though. Are you gonna unload the cart into?
Biggie snow.
Yeah. Get the furs to Grigori.
Yeah, we'll unload the cart.
Okay. Wow, look at oh wow, these are this is definitely Laszlo and Alina's quality of stuff. More. Good. Wow. You managed to get This is nearly a full. This is about how much I was expecting from them. They must have been at the end of their season. I should pay you for this. Let me pay you for. I'm giving you shelter and all, but and here and he goes into his strongbox and he pulls out and he is going to pay the group 50 gold.
Ow.
Is this just the adventurers, or are we including the elves, the elf trio?
I will defer to the party on that.
We already gave the elves some for other first, so
Mhm.
I'm inclined to say 10 gold each.
All right then.
I would like to slide 5 of my gold along the table to the group of elves, because I am guessing they are trying to make their way somewhere else, and it's probably a long journey. Well, maybe not long, but a difficult journey.
And Aya looks at you with kind of a soft look on her face and says, I was right. You are good people. You are very good people. Thank you. And yes, we are going to try and make our way somewhere, but probably not until. Now, staying here at the Hare and Hare has been pretty crowded for all of you, including the elves. And so, Aya says, and you said that the seven. She turns to her. You said that the Seven Tables is a tavern and inn. Is it a tavern? Is it also an inn? Maybe we can find shelter there as we figure out where we're going to go. And he nods. Okay, so we've unloaded the cart. Are we digging our way to the Seven Tables?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll say it takes about a little over an hour or so to keep working the way around to the Seven Tables. And you can see that there are a few other people that you come across as you're digging other. You can tell where other tunnels have sort of been dug, and as sort of digging out and packing snow to kind of get around there. Other people and the other villagers have done similarly, and there's a few people out and about, and you can hear them sort of shouting to each other and all. And you do seem to several people are headed towards the Seven Tables, and it does seem like the village is essentially those that can get out are gathering there and they're seeing who's there. And someone off in the distance yells, Polo! Okay. So at the Seven Tables, let me get a description of the seven. Okay. So as you come in and stamp the snow off, are all of you over at the Seven Tables now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a large common room here, and as is typical in a small village, this would be the kind of place where the town would tend to gather. And the room is about a little over half full, and more people keep trickling in over time. Um, People hunkering down, sort of waiting for. They're grateful. You hear people grateful for a break in the blizzard, grumbling about the snow and the impact and all as they're there. You can feel you can feel a sense of apprehension in the room. You know how when you've got some of you may or not know when you've got a sudden snow day and people come out and you talk to neighbors you haven't talked to in quite a long time because we all spend our time inside and all it. It's usually kind of a somewhat hassled, somewhat stressed, but somewhat joyful time because it's like all of the normal habits and stuff are set aside while you deal with the emergent thing of the snow. And there's a little bit of a flavor of that here in the Seven Tables, but there's also some under trying to cheat. Cheating me while I was trying to cheat him. Oh yeah, so there's an undercurrent though of more unease in the muttering around. And so you come in and find yourself tables, and they have on offer. They've got a full kitchen with food and stuff, and you can see at the various tables, nice hearty. I'm blanking on what it would be called. It's essentially a cross between oatmeal and a savory stew stuff that is very.
Forge.
That's not the word I'm looking for. Pottage, I think is the word I'm looking for. But anyways, you see that with some meat and big crusty chunks of bread and hot drinks and all. And so there's quite a bit of food here. And someone is coming up and saying, yeah, sit anywhere you like. Do you guys find a common table, or do you find a table over to yourselves?
I think I was gonna find a table to herself, I think.
A big enough table
Yeah.
that your other party mates could be at, or are you going to try and be by yourself? Suspicious stew, yes, absolutely. And this is going to
Oh,
have
no.
healing benefits
Is
to
it gonna
it.
cause blindness, or?
No, this one's gonna give healing benefits.
Merrick is gonna try and find a common table with a lot of village people, trying to
Okay.
butt shoulders, try and get some food.
Okay.
Merlin will go where the majority of the party goes, looking out for them. Sigil can take care of herself.
Right, just at a table.
Okay. So as you're there, you're able to, order food, have hot food coming, and there's quite a bit of chatter around the table. How much are you listening in to what people are talking about?
Merrick is definitely engaging in the gossip.
Oh,
So
are
maybe
you?
maybe not hearing all the important things, but more like banter and such.
So here and there, this storm that came in so suddenly, and it's early in the season too. These things are getting worse and worse. We must be cursed. This whole area must be cursed. And someone further down, wasn't there a wolf puppet given it at Glovia's place? I mean, wolves bring luck. Sometimes it's good luck. Sometimes it's bad luck. Maybe that wolf is the cause of the storm. And another one says, no, it's probably the burgomaster that is doing another way to try and get us, hold us down and keep us from making a living. I don't know that he's really that. I mean, how's he gonna gather up his exorbitant taxes if he doesn't let us make enough money in order to pay him some? Oh, he doesn't care about that. You know that. You just wait. When this snow clears, Stroud's fog is going to come in here, and it's going to be one of those choking fog things, and we'll all be passed out like plague victims. No, nonsense. Of course not. And so there's talk like this going on. How do you engage with the talk? My cup is empty.
I
Merlin,
probably think Merrick would probably try and appeal to them. Like some of them may not like the master in town, and the other one might disagree, but kind of taking a neutral side, but still agreeing that shit's tough at the moment.
It is very hard. And that burgomaster is just lining his own pockets with it. He just taxes us as much as he can just because he can. It isn't that he actually needs it to support the village. Go ahead, please, Deku.
Merlin would like to lean forward and look at the person who said choking fog and ask them, I beg your pardon, but what do you mean by choking fog?
Choking fog? You haven't encountered the choking fog yet? It comes in and it as you start breathing it, you start dissolving from the inside out, and you find yourself sort of sloughing off your skin. That doesn't even make any sense. That's not what it is. But it is like a thick sort of smoke, and you get coughing at it, and it's hard to breathe through. No, that's not it either. And they start.
Merrick just butts shoulder to the guy next to me like motel.
Can I do some sort of check to determine whether this is poison or magic?
So you're trying to tell this from their stories, right? Because you don't have it in front of you to try with.
Yeah.
So you can either use a medicine check to guide your. You've got several things, and a medicine check will try and help you ask a certain set of questions, or an Arcana check. With an Arcana check, you would be asking other questions that would sort of lend towards magical stuff. Survival check could be possible to look if it's something possibly natural or supernatural. So whatever skill you choose will influence the kind of information I will give you. And the score, of course, will determine how much information I give you.
Am I allowed to guidance myself for this?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so since it's my best stat, I guess I'll do a medicine check with guidance.
Okay. There's your guidance. Okay, so an absolute average 10. Very good. So, as you're listening to them, what they talk about dissolving it, they seem to be talking about some sort of foaming at the mouth, but basically what you gather... Actually, also give me an insight check, please.
Oh. Open sheet, get insight.
Average. Even with an average, even oh, and you have a +5. Okay, but even with an average insight check, the stories are too vague. You don't feel like any of these people have direct experience, and so you can't really make anything out of their stories. And you try and relate it back to the fog that you try and relate it back to the fog that you encountered.
It doesn't seem like the same stuff because the fog that was driving people mad and making them evil wasn't killing them.
Right. But if that's what they're talking about, and actually if you're using that as kind of a baseline, I would also give you advantage because you would be asking questions specific to that. Well, no, you would still probably find that they don't really most of these people do not have direct experience of it. It's stuff that they've heard from travelers or heard from other villages. Okay. What else are you are you folks digging in on here?
I guess about the custom of buying and selling wolves.
Well, that's not so much of a custom as I mean, wolves are good pet. They're good to have as pets if you get them young and train them because, I mean, they can be really good for defense. It's kind of like having a guard dog because there aren't a lot of dogs around in this area, so we kind of make them. They are kind of wild and they're kind of hard to train, and sometimes they go feral and you have to put the things down. But you make with what you can, and sometimes if you've got something and somebody wants something and you agree on a price, that's how it goes. Enigma, what are you listening for?
I'm just listening into everybody's conversation, kind of being a little nosy here and there.
A little nosy here and there. And especially where you're kind of quiet and listening in on multiple conversations, you do also pick up so we've got, one set of people that are complaining about the burgomaster and the taxes and so forth, and there's a group that are talking about the fog and wolves, and there's another group that are talking about a shopkeeper and a new person in town and how suspicious they are because it's like, yeah, I don't know. Filler, his wares, they're too good. They're too consistent. He can't be getting this legitimately. We don't have any caravans coming in. Where is he getting his goods from? I mean, have you been in there and seen it? And so you've got a table that's talking about things like that, and you have another one that are, are we going to be able to trade with the Vistani when they come? Because, I heard that the hunters were missing, and if they're missing and they're not bringing the furs in, what are we going to replace that with? And are they even going to come for their last round of the season with the snow coming in? So you've got a group of people worried about that. What else do we have? We have one group worrying about, it's kind of like, what are we going to eat this winter? If winter comes in this soon, yeah, we've got some crops out there, but, and then they get into talking about the Burgomaster too. So which topics catch your interest that you listen more for?
I'd say the merchant.
The merchant?
Yeah, the one that has goods that are too good to be true.
Yeah,
Okay.
Eagle's listening on us from her table if she can.
Okay. A second.
Sounds like the kind of guy to shake down.
All right. Let's see here. So, although Filler, he's been around a while. He's always been a bit of a shady sort, but ever since this new guy, this Eric, ever since he's come, it seems like they're doing a lot more business, and they're getting too good of a supply of goods. Good quality adventuring gear. You're getting some artifacts. That artifact that we've been hearing about, I wouldn't be surprised to see if it shows up in Filler's shop. But if we've got it, it's like, no, there's not going to be anything like that. You think about it, and the Burgomaster then taxes everything from him, and so it all ends up in his. I don't know where he puts. He's got a mansion, but where do you even put all this stuff? Yeah, I don't know, but. What if Filler was being legit about this stuff? What if he really does have sources? He says he's got traders that come in and he meets them on the outside of the village. Oh, come on. We would see a lot more signs of that if there was a regular flow of people coming in. The only regular flow of people we have coming in are those damn tourists coming looking for the stupid artifact thing, which, really, what's an artifact going to be doing in Erasnu here? That's just silly. But so there's no signs of anyone else coming on a regular basis that could possibly be supplying his stuff. And yeah, he gets some unusual artifacts sometimes, because Grigori over there gets the normal common equipment and stuff. But he sometimes gets gems, or he sometimes gets these weird little things he would use for magic, and he sometimes gets these other stuff. Well, I don't know. I don't browse his shop very often because, he gets some exotic stuff, and who here's got use for any of that? Because, it's like we're just common villagers, and we just got common needs. We need seeds, we need tools, we need, things like the furnishings and ironworks and stuff. We don't even need that. And I'm losing my voice.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to have to take a quick 2-minute break here and go refill my teacup because this talking is fun, but I'm losing my voice. So go ahead and talk among yourselves for a moment about what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and what you're making of what you hear. I'll be right back.
I will also just take a minute break because my cat is going manic.
Well, all right then. So let's take a 2-minute break, and I'll actually move OBS. We have a short break scene, and I will actually put that up in place. Where's OBS? Here's OBS. Okay, so we're gonna take let's make it a 3 to 5 minute bio break if we're gonna take a break. But we're good to play again. Okay, so we're live again. And I have honeyed tea that will help my voice here. Okay. Oh, yeah, I know, Amador. I could not afford to rent in this area. Couldn't happen. Couldn't do it. Okay, so being back, we've heard a lot of conversation. We've had conversation about what did I do with my notes. No, that wasn't the conversation. The conversation was about the burgomaster and the merchant in town that has been shady and has gotten a new sort of business partner and has gotten even shadier. We've had about whether or not the mist is cursed or what the influence of the mists are. What else have we had? Okay, which ones do you want to ask extra questions on? Which conversations would you like to engage with?
Merrick is just chowing down at this point, trying to eat before the food is gone.
Mm-hmm. It is. There's a large, good quantity of it. It is filling. It is hot. It is warm. It is comforting. This is very much good stuff. Put a little bit of meat on those bones of yours.
Yeah.
Who else?
I guess Merlin would like to ask about the foothills to the east of the hunters' camp. Like, would anybody here know anything about those? What to look out for? Like,
What to look out for in the foothills? Okay. I don't know. Let me see. Who do you happen to be sitting next to? Okay. I don't know. I mean, the woods are just a wild and dangerous place. There are boars, there are bears, there are wolves, there are probably lions and tigers for all I know. It's
my.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's just dangerous out there. I mean, stick to the established paths. I don't know how the Viduvas, I mean, they go out and they hunt and they get all the furs and I mean, they must go off into the wilderness, but good heavens, it just seems dangerous. It's much better to stay here in the village and let the Vistanis come, let the traveling people come and bring commerce to you rather than going out into the dangers of the area.
So, out of character, who wants to tell them?
Who wants to tell them what?
They've mentioned a few times the hunters.
Mm-hmm. And it has been mentioned that they are overdue.
Yes, and these are we found one of them.
Merrick seems a little more empathetic to the hunters, so he will be too shy to mention it.
Okay.
I don't think we should share anything until we have complete information. But if Sigil wants to tell them we found the husband, then...
The Sigil's not speaking up for it. Which is why I asked out of character who wants to tell him.
Yeah. We just don't know enough. Like, they're gonna demand, how did he die? How did he die? And we can't tell them
Ooh,
what
thank you
killed
for
him.
the follow. Amper Sandworm, welcome.
We can't tell them what happened to Alina. Merlin's mind is completely on him.
Okay,
Can
peeps.
people hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. And we've been sitting here for over an hour and a half. And someone has redeemed a posture check, which means we're going to stop and make ourselves more comfortable here. Because as we've just been saying, I know we got up and took a break, but we're going to stretch up to the ceiling and sweep down and back. And tilt, reach up to the ceiling, reach down to the floor, get some good length in the side there. And tilt the other way. Oh, and twist. twist, which gives a good massage to your internal organs and gets your spine and twist the other way. Do not knock your monitor off on the floor. I almost did that one of the first times I was doing this. And we're going to bend, get the lower back. Oh, right. I was going to vacuum after my Minecraft stream this morning. And I didn't.
My cat is looking at me like a complete maniac.
Yes, my cat, if he was here, he would be thinking that if my hands are outstretched that they are going to be here for petting him. Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah.
don't forget to drink. Hydration is very important.
Uh-huh.
And so now that
Especially
we are...
this time of year.
Oh, yeah. And so now that we're all physically comfortable in our chairs... Oh, I'm going to do some shoulder circles, too. We're all physically comfortable in our chairs. We can settle in for a little more of this. All right, so we've decided... So we're not telling them, the villagers, the news that we have, because we don't know if it's news yet.
Gregory knows. It might be his job. Tell him.
He's over at a table and he's talking quietly to some people, and you aren't overhearing what he's talking, but they are looking very somber. So word might be spreading.
Merlin is for waiting until we have more info.
So, what types of things do you ask about or talk about? Do you want more info on?
Well, Merlin's mind is a little focused on what happened, what attacked the hunters' camp, and where that blood trail leads, and where did Alina go. So...
And if you were asking also about the dangers in the area, one of the common things that seems to be more than just rumors is wolves. Wolves are known to be common here. Wolf pelts feature pretty regularly in the furs that are available at the Hare and Hare. Although there are other furs available there too. You'll get some raccoons, you'll get deer pelts, you'll get bear, you'll get some other stuff like that. But one of the things that's pretty clear is there actually are wolves around. Fairly large wolves around that frighten people and are known to occasionally take a stray sheep.
Wolves of what size? Are we talking normal big or dire big?
Wolves of unusual size.
So the information you get from the villagers gathered here are clearly not much from personal experience. Some people you get, well, they're sort of about, this big, and they gesture about the size of a large dog. And some of them say, no, they're only about this big, and they gesture the size of a medium dog. And some of them say, they're this gigantic thing with ravening fangs that come at you, and they're huge. And you get stories like that too. You do get from one I've got folks with some decent passive insight. The talk of the size of wolves, one of the villagers kind of shifts uneasily and has an uncomfortable look on her face.
I think I know what happened to the wolf puppy. I think I know what happened to the wolf puppy.
Merlin would like to talk to this shifty person.
And she's not so much shifty as it's like I've been out in the forest. I've heard wolves in the stories and things, and sometimes they're these huge monsters, but we do get some really big. I've seen some wolf tracks that are, this big, and she sort of gestures larger than the size of her hand. That would be a truly, those of you with survival skills, that is a, maybe more than twice the size of a normal large wolf print.
About the size of the wolf prints we were seeing at the camp?
In the range, although the prints you were seeing at the camp, would they have been even larger? No, or would they have been... The ones that she says that are the largest she's seen are a little bit larger than the ones that you saw at the camp.
Hmm.
You could do a mix of a history check with a survival check if you wanted to, if we wanted to know what sort of stories you might know about various monsters. But
The kind of education I would have gotten as a part of my training as a monster hunter.
exactly.
Oh.
And you asked the question about dire wolves would definitely be in the range of what. Actually, I'll give you that because you even mentioned it. Dire wolves would definitely be in the range of what she had indicated.
So, history check?
Yeah, no, I gave it to you for free. You don't have to actually do the check.
Okay. You. Fine.
I mean, your mind's on the subject. If you knew anything, it would come up, and yeah.
I guess that's all Merlin has to think about.
So someone asks you guys, it's like, so you guys are new in town. Are you here looking for that artifact like other folks coming through town, or are you here for trade, or what brings you to Razno?
Some weird fucking mist.
Mist?
We just seem to stumble into town.
Yeah, we were very far from here, and then got enveloped in some mist, and we're here.
Well, I mean, I've heard stranger stories than that, but that really kind of takes the cake. So, where are you from?
The Moonsea region. Plan.
Moonsea region. Moonsea region. Is that somewhere over near? No, I don't. I've never heard of it. It must be far away. You did say very far away.
And we got lost in some mist, and found ourselves near a sign saying, "Welcome to Barovia."
Well, Barovia is where you are, definitely. I mean, we're kind of far out. The main settlements and all of Von Strahd and all are further in the more populated areas and all. But yeah, you're definitely here at Barovia.
None of us had ever heard of Barovia before we arrived here. So, yeah.
Who's this Von Strahd? Or what?
Oh, well, I mean, he's the ruler. I guess we call him a count, but there isn't anybody, there's no king or anything higher than him. He's got big castle kind of off to the, I don't remember, off that
He's
way.
the only authority that counts.
Yes, exactly. He's the only, yes. I don't know, it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of like sort of a feudalish lord of the area. I mean, he's kind of a scary guy, dude. Some people say that he's evil, that he's, murdered villages of people, but, I mean, he's never been here, so.
Can't be worse than a dragon.
I know, right? I mean, I wouldn't want to live in a land that was ruled by a dragon. And someone else pipes up, although our burgomaster taxes like he's a dragon. And it's like, oh, I hadn't thought of that before. Do you suppose he's actually a dragon building a horde? I mean, what would a dragon be doing here in Erasmus? They get distracted off on that.
You mentioned very interested in this, Burgermeister.
Adric and Sigil both spoke at the same time, and I didn't catch either of you.
Sigil is very interested in this Burgermaster.
He's like the mayor of the town.
Yeah, it's
sort of thing, and he's just, I mean, he runs the sheriff's force, and And I've heard that he's put more guards up at his place again too, and there's more guards now at his place. I don't know what he's guarding from. It's just, I mean, unless you, well, I don't know. You guys look pretty suspicious. Mentioned
More
an
guards in a
You look
place,
suspicious.
easier to get into it.
Really?
I mean, the sequel could use help.
Okay. Artifact. Well, there's some sort of ancient artifact that I mean, people keep coming to town looking for this thing, and supposedly somebody said something about it being here, and we've never heard of it. And it was called something here. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's people. Maybe that's what's causing all this cold weather and stuff. Is that artifact thing? And they said they were
Tell us
looking for
about this
something
artifact?
specific that it was called. I'm sorry. What?
Tell us a bit more about this artifact.
It is. Somebody said that they were looking for. Cool. It's buried in my notes here somewhere. As the name of the artifact that people come looking. Tatiana's powder box.
Titania the Fairy Queen?
Tatiana.
Oh,
Tatiana. No, it's I mean, I don't know.
Well,
She
that's
was
okay.
the love of Strahd's life or something like that, and she died 100 years ago, or I don't know what. There's some big stories and all about it, and I don't know what her powder box might be. Maybe she took snuff or something. I don't know. But anyways, people have been coming here asking about it and looking for it, and I bet it's. I don't know why they think it's here. Well,
How long ago
actually,
was this Tatiana around?
no, I don't know, 70 years. No, it's more like 400 years. And no, it can't be 400 years because Strahd's still the count. And it's like, well, so maybe it's been 50 years. There's no actual data coming out of
Very reliable.
very reliable sources, yes.
Oh. Is Strahd human or elf or dwarf?
I don't know. He's never been here. I think there's a portrait of him over at the burgomaster's house I've seen once. You've never been in the burgomaster's house. I have too. I went to complain about the theft of my sheep. And and he did what for you? Well, that's not the point. I went there and I saw the painting up on the wall. You didn't really see the painting up on the wall. If you saw the painting on the wall, what did he look like? Well, I mean, the painting has him sort of sitting in this big chair with lots of velvet around it, and I mean, I don't know. So, what all are you?
So, where is this Burgermeister's house?
Well, let's see. It's just down, kind of on the sort of other side of town. You just sort of go on the main path here and down, and it's the biggest building other than this one, and you really can't miss it on the right up there.
So the biggest pile of snow. Got it.
I have a picture of God here somewhere, I think. Oh, that's not the famous painting of him, though. Okay. So. The atmosphere of the room is starting to wind down. It's gotten to kind of midday, and people are like, well, I gotta go back and dig out around the thing. Yeah, I ain't too. And, oh, maybe it's. Do you think it's gonna snow again tonight and stuff's gonna. I don't know. People are starting to grumble, and so the crowd is starting to disperse some.
Norman is eager to get going.
And a gentleman comes up to you, and you've kind of noticed he's been the one who's been the tavern keep here, and he introduces himself as yeah, hello. My name's Marco Grelin. I'm the innkeep here at the Seven Tables. Welcome to our establishment. Um, do you all have just a few minutes for a quiet word?
Are you the one that shouted polo to me earlier?
I was about to say it.
Am I the one that did what?
Did you shout polo to me earlier?
I have no idea what you're referring to. I mean, there's all sorts of shouts in here and all sorts of random noise, but.
Okay.
And so he
She
takes.
shouted Marco on her way over here.
We've got a few minutes, I think. It's not like we're going anywhere in the snow.
Well, there is that. And he brings you over. So, I was talking to Grigori, and he says that you went out looking for Liza and Alina, and you managed to retrieve a bunch of their furs and so forth. Do you have plans for what you're gonna do now?
Particularly?
Merlin had the idea to use his locate object spell to look for Alina's necklace, and hopefully her with it.
I was thinking about inquiring about a job with the burger. Why am I southern accent?
Well, I've noticed that people talk around you and all, and you know, people usually talk here in the Seven Tables and all, but I was wondering if you could possibly maybe and he's very hesitant. And, I mean, I hate to cast aspersions on another merchant. There aren't that many of us here in Erasnu, but I was wondering if you could maybe look into a merchant. You may have heard some of the chatter here about, you know, his sources might not be quite legit. And I'm a little bit concerned. I don't want. I mean, we've already got. We're a small village. We shouldn't really have much of a reputation and all, but I certainly don't want a reputation for you know, being a black market. Do you suppose you could kind of look into that a little bit? Maybe scout him out and see what you guys think is from an outside perspective?
What is the name of this merchant and his establishment?
Well, his name's Filler, and he has the Eyes of Midnight. Is the name of his shop. It's kind of out on the southeast. It's kind of on the road, right towards. I mean, it's just like, you know, what let me. You know, it's not very far. It's just, you know, 10 yards, 15 yards, or whatever down the street from here. But and he's got that new guy Eric hanging out at his place, and I mean that he seems kind of a shady guy. Phil Filllar is the guy's name. It's just you seem trustworthy folk, and Grigori spoke very highly of you, and I just would like to. I would pay you, of course. You know, any sort of information that you're able to come up with, I would, you know, pay you. If you can at least set my mind at ease, it might be worth maybe, I don't know, 10 gold, 20 gold.
Mirek perks his head up. Doesn't say anything, just shows a generally more interest in the conversation.
But keep it kind of quiet, please, because I don't. I don't want to start. I mean, rumors are already going. You can already hear. I mean, you heard that. Hear this morning here, but I just I don't like the sounds of it.
Did you say quiet? Nerd
Here
just yells out being obnoxious.
So, is
Yes,
he
it is
in,
very.
is
Yes, it is very quiet in here with people leaving and all. It will quiet down here even more shortly as more people have left. Yes, I'm sorry.
American Arms reach of Siegel?
Of course he can be.
I don't have that on my sheet.
Well, roll a d20. What are you doing to pour?
I'm sure this is gonna end well.
I'm sure it's going to end very well.
I mean, you guys have watched NCIS at least, right? The old Gib slap.
Ah, up the back of the head.
Yes.
So you get so yeah, our paladin gives you a cuff up the back of your head, which you will take no damage from.
Still worth the joke.
Definitely worth the joke. Okay.
Marlon is for leaving this matter for after we make our attempt, or he makes his attempt to look for Alina one more time.
Okay. So as
What does everybody else think? He wants to go looking for Alina one more time.
I'm waiting for others to respond to you.
Me too.
Siegel is interested in investigating the Burgermeister, possibly by signing up as one of the guards. See what she can get casing the joint there.
Oh, what are you gonna do with the Burgermeister?
I mean, if he's hoarding a bunch of wealth, hiring a bunch of guards, probably something to buy.
Okay, so you got that. You've been asked by the Tavern Keep. So what are you guys going to do? So as you exit out of the 7 tables, you can see, people are busy and working. You can see a couple of stable hands. You can hear some chatter in the stable from a couple of stable hands wondering about a horse that seems to have been just sort of left here, and it still had all of its tack and stuff on it. It wasn't even settled properly. And is whoever it is paying for that, or that's not our business? You leave that up to the innkeep.
Marlon would go to the Tavern Keep and pay to board the horse.
Oh, I heard we had a stray horse. That's your horse. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Yes, absolutely. You can board it in our stables. Absolutely. Do you know how long you will be staying?
Not particularly, but I suppose paying ahead for a few days would not hurt.
Okay.
How much money is it per day?
It's a silver will get you 10 day. Although I should kick it up if it's gonna be. We're gonna have trouble getting more stocks in here. Let's make it a silver for for 7 days.
Okay. I only have GP in my character sheet, so I think I need to reduce my gold by 1, give myself 10 silver, and then give it.
Yes. That is the
So.
correct exchange rate. Oh, sure, I can give you change for that.
And how much silver did they want?
Well, so a silver would cover for 7 days.
Okay, 1 silver it is, so I'm down to 9.
Okay. Now, as you come out, the villagers have been kind of busy working on trying to at least clear pathways. You've got someone who's got a plow horse that's kind of making its way through and is not carrying a plow, but is carrying kind of a board thing that's essentially acting like a snow plow sort of thing to try and get the main pathways down. And I think I am actually going to call it here tonight because my voice is failing again. So,
Oh, okay.
so we can pick up next time. You can go any of the 3 routes that you've discussed so far. And any final questions or anything as you step outside of the 7 tables and are starting to look around and get your bearings?
Merrick just gives get praise for the narrating god's voice to recover.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not even wildfire season yet. I don't know why my voice is failing this evening, but it is.
It's wildfire season in Canada.
It's been wildfire season here in Iowa.
Yes, I have been very grateful for the offshore winds coming in and pushing it away from me. I have not had to deal with that, so I am so sorry that you have had to deal with it, Amadorn. I'm just grateful that I don't. Yeah.
As a European, that's just crazy to over here. Yeah, it's kind of windy today. That's kind of the weather situation here.
Our wildfire smoke will get over to you.
Eventually.
It's covering the Canadian wildfire smoke is covering most of the North Atlantic, has been for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
We actually had a couple of the local factories shut down their productions because of air quality.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about the upper Midwest Chicago area.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm. Okay. Well, so let me say good night to the stream. Thank you very much for viewing. Thank you to anybody who watches on YouTube afterwards. Please feel free to check us out at Dirty 20 Gaming, which has been coming up here. Oh, it isn't in my Discord stuff. Okay, note to self, add more D20 Gaming on my Discord stuff. I'll have this stuff all set up. I will be all set to go by the time we finish this campaign.
Hopefully.
Anyway, so good night, and yes, thank you. And until next time at Dirty 20 Gaming, we are all about this. Be nice to each other.